Everyone watched Shai Gilgeous-Alexander pour in 38 points, yet few saw the real threat unfolding off the bench. From the moment the ball left the referee's hand, coach Mark Daigneault executed a rotation so unorthodox it felt like an experiment hand. It set the stage for the most stunning upset in recent finals memory. Tonight, we'll peel back every layer of that game, revealing how Oklahoma City's depth, tactical audacity, and untold storylines unraveled Indiana's title hopes. It began in the first half when three players Jalen Williams, Luguentz Dort, and rookie Cason Wallace quietly turned an ordinary night into an extraordinary one. While the basketball world fixated on star power, these bench contributors' demands our attention. Their energy, their hustle, their fearless aggression rewrote the script, but this opener only scratches the surface. To understand how a series that was tipped in Indiana's favor swung in Oklahoma City's direction, we need to examine every nuance, the preparation that bred this bench surge, the tactical wrinkles that unzipped Indiana's defense, the moments of chaos that defined the turning point, and the strategies that will shape the rest of this series. In Part 1, we'll dive into Sections 1 and 2, the secret weapon unleashed and a tactical surprise that set the tone. Brace yourself for a deep dive narrative that exposes how the Thunder's unsung heroes rewrote the finals blueprint and why Indiana's stars found themselves on the back foot before the final buzzer. When the game tipped off, few would have predicted that Oklahoma City's real advantage would lie in its second unit. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's 38 points dominated highlight reels, but the true architects of the upset were Jalen Williams, Luguentz Dort, and rookie Cason Wallace. Their combined 32 points in the opening half did more than just augment a lead. They planted a psychological seed of doubt in Indiana's locker room. Williams, the undrafted swingman turned breakout star, attacked with laser focus. Every closeout he faced became an opportunity, slashing to the rim for acrobatic layups, drawing defenders and dishing precise kickouts, and crashing the glass with relentless tenacity. By halftime, he had already racked up multiple second-chance buckets, turning what might have been defensive rebounds into momentum-shifting plays. Dort, the league's most underrated perimeter stopper, shadowed Tyrese Haliburton from wire to wire. His length disrupted passing lanes, his discipline cut off driving angles, and his insistence on body contact made Haliburton uncomfortable in spaces where he thrives. Dort's presence didn't just slow Haliburton's stat line, it rattled him. When a star feels pressure from a role player, panic seeps into decision-making, and that's the crack Dort exploited. Wallace, the fresh-faced rookie known more for his defensive instincts than scoring, delivered the kind of energy that shifts entire rosters. His timing on weak-side rotations led to interceptions. His burst in transition turned steals into fast break points. And his fearless attitude meant he wasn't about to defer to more established teammates. A 20-year-old rising star logging 6 points and 4 steals by halftime sent a clear message. OKC's bench was here to play. These three combined for a 1-6-4 run midway through the second quarter that ballooned a 2-point lead into a double-digit cushion. More importantly, it rewrote narratives mid-game. The Pacers' motto of next play gave way to quiet disbelief on their sideline. Indiana's veterans Pascal Siakam, Malcolm Brogdon, Miles Turner watched their usual script unravel. The real secret weapon wasn't a single highlight play. It was the invisible architecture of rotational planning that allowed these unsung heroes to shine in unison. And make no mistake, this wasn't accidental. Behind closed doors, Daigneault's staff drilled these role players on situational reads, spent extra practice hours on bench continuity sets, and mapped Indiana's tendencies to exploit every weak spot. By injecting this level of preparation into non-starters, Oklahoma City didn't merely supplement star minutes, they created a second power source that never dimmed. As we move into the next section, consider this. What happens when your most reliable lineup can be easily neutralized on film, but your supposed weaknesses become your greatest strengths? For Indiana, facing a bench this electric meant opening gambits became survival tests, and the tactical surprise that followed only deepened the hole. Most teams staggered their stars to manage minutes. Few do it to maximize bench chemistry. Daigneault's rotation formula was simple yet revolutionary: alternate 5-minute bursts of star-led offense with 8-minute stints of bench synergy, ensuring Jalen Williams, Luguentz Dort, and Cason Wallace spent extended time together on the floor. The result? A bench unit that played like a starter group, one that anticipated each other's movements, communicated on switches, and rotated defensively with choreography usually reserved for all-star teams. Indiana scouted the Thunder's starting lineup. They weren't prepared for this level of cohesion from non-starters. Defensively, the Thunder weaved between two philosophies. When facing Pascal Siakam's potent pick-and-roll pop, they dropped Chet Holmgren behind the screen, forcing the ball handler in two long two-point shots. At other times, they blitzed the same actions, sending Dort or Williams at the roller, trapping Haliburton and daring the Pacers to hit contested mid-range shots. That unpredictability sowed hesitation. Turner hesitated on his pump fake, Brogdon paused his floater, and Haliburton found once familiar creases clogged by shifting zone principles. Offensively, the Thunder ran a modified version of the dribble handoff series known as the OKC snap. It involved quick dribble handoffs at the elbows between Dort and Williams, designed to catch the drop defender leaning too far under the screen. When executed properly, it sprung Williams into the lane or freed Dort for open triples. In practice, Indiana's rotation struggled to adjust. The drop coverage got surprised by handoff fakes, and the switch covers communication broke down, leaving shooters unguarded. Then came the true wrinkle: tip-off sets disguised as zone, a seldom used tactic to force late defensive rotations. The Thunder would align in a 2-1-2 shell, baiting cuts into the interior before spiraling into man-to-man. When Indiana attacked the presumed gap, Dort or Wallace would rotate off weak side, often intercepting cross-court passes intended for corner shooters. These surprise traps turned potential buckets into Thunder fast breaks, swinging momentum before halftime. By halftime, Indiana's coaches were already scribbling furiously, attempting to devise counters, yet Oklahoma City's preparations extended. Beyond X's and O's, the Thunder's video sessions had drilled opposing coaches' tendencies to script halftime adjustments, so they introduced a second set of tactical options for the second half. When one wrinkle got countered, they flipped to a backup plan faster than Indiana could adapt. The Pacers pride themselves on in-game adjustments. But in this game, their adaptations trailed by 2 steps. Each tactical surprise bred another, and soon, what had started as an intriguing opening half became a clinic in orchestration. As we transition to Section 3, remember, when preparation meets innovation, even basketball's biggest stars can find themselves outmatched. Up next, we'll dissect the turning point chaos that nearly rewrote history itself. When the third quarter began, it felt like Indiana had reclaimed control. A blistering 14-2 run erased OKC's double-digit lead, with Tyrese Haliburton masterminding crisp entry passes and Pascal Siakam's polished footwork turning mismatches into easy buckets. Fans roared as the scoreboard flipped, believing momentum belonged to the Pacers. Yet beneath the surface, the Thunder's foresight revealed itself. Coach Daigneault had reserved his fiercest defenders for the final frame. Luguentz Dort and Cason Wallace re-entered the lineup with renewed vigor, hounding every pass and contesting every catch-and-shoot attempt. Chet Holmgren's 7'1" frame lurked behind the screen, deterring lane attacks and altering shots even when he wasn't the primary defender. Each Pacers bucket cost precious seconds: extra dribbles, extra passes, incremental fatigue gradually crumbling Indiana's efficiency. Midway through the quarter, a loose ball scramble under the rim set off a chain reaction: a fast break by Williams, a contested layup by Dort, and a dubious charging foul called on Miles Turner that had analysts debating for hours. With 7 minutes remaining, the score set 98-96 in Indiana's favor, yet OKC's energy seemed boundless, their bench unit breathing fire into the rotation, and what happened next would shock everyone. With 15 seconds on the clock, Indiana clung to a 1-point lead. The Pacers set a high screen look for Haliburton to free Siakam, the roll lonely, to have Dort hedge so aggressively it disrupted the timing. Gilgeous-Alexander, whose defensive effort had flown under the radar, cut off passing lanes with surgical precision. Forced into a reset, Indiana's ball swung cross-court to Malcolm Brogdon, whose drive stalled against a double-dash team. As the clock ticked under 3.5 seconds, the ball found its way back to Haliburton at the top of the key. He rose 21 feet from the rim and released a smooth jumper over Holmgren's outstretched arm. The buzzer sounded before the net rippled 111-110. Oklahoma City exploded in celebration. Indiana stood stunned. That shot was the latest buzzer beater in finals history since Michael Jordan in '97, and it epitomized Daigneault's blueprint: preparation, depth, and relentless execution. Ripping one of the biggest momentum waves in finals history, the Thunder head into Game 2 with blueprints etched in data and blood. Daigneault hinted at sliding Chet Holmgren to power forward early, challenging Siakam's post prowess and stretching him beyond comfort zones. He may continue staggering Gilgeous-Alexander's minutes by shaving star bursts from the third quarter, preserving that bench chemistry for crunch time. Offensively, look for more OKC snap dribble handoffs, twice as many, with rapid fakes, designed to bait Indiana's drop coverage into folly. Defensive adjustments could be even more surprising. Rumors swirl of a zone blitz, a hybrid where the Thunder shift into a 2-3 zone for brief possessions, then morph back into man-to-man. For traps, this chess match of covers aims to confuse Haliburton's reads and force off-script sets. If Oklahoma City's bench can replicate its 32-point spree, Indiana's home crowd may witness a repeat of Game 1's shock. Yet the Pacers aren't defenseless. Coach McMillan, known for in-game tweaks, has likely studied every second of Game 1 to craft counters. He could introduce staggered off-ball screens for Haliburton to bait rotations, then slip for open cuts. He may call zone coverages of his own, throwing Holmgren or Dort off balance. The tug-of-war looms, and each move will reverberate beyond a single possession. It will redefine this series' narrative. This wasn't just a Game 1 upset, it was a manifesto. The Thunder taught us that depth, daring, and meticulous craft can tilt the NBA's power balance. Their secret weapon wasn't a lone hero. It was a synergy of unsung talents, tactical audacity, and psychological warfare. Indiana's inner circle never wavered in effort, but their vulnerabilities were laid bare, and ankle-whispering doubts, an officiating chorus that felt indifferent, a locker room shifting under the weight of rising stardom. Their conventional strength, size, experience, home court edge crumbled under the Thunder's relentless onslaught. So here's the question: will the Pacers rebuild that fortress of unity, draw from championship grit, and answer back on their floor? Or will Oklahoma City's blueprint become a standard, inspiring underdogs to exploit depth and strategy over star wattage? One thing is certain: as this final saga unfolds, we'll see more than basketball. We'll witness how preparation meets opportunity, how psychology shapes outcomes, and how a secret weapon can expose champions at their core. The next chapter begins in Indianapolis. Buckle up, this series is far from over, and the most compelling revelations are yet to come.